The global landscape of figure skating is currently suspended in a state of absolute, breathless anticipation and profound anxiety. A heavy, deathly silence has descended upon the grand arenas of the world as a grim precursor to a massive tectonic shift. This seismic explosion is destined to occur at the 2026 Milan Winter Olympics, where the cold ice will transform into a burning battlefield. At the center of this gathering storm stands Ilya Malinin, the American phenomenon and reigning two-time world champion. His very name alone has become a whispered source of dread and intimidation for every rival seeking a place on the podium. The official entry lists have recently confirmed a reality so unthinkable it has left even veteran experts in a state of paralysis. Malinin is preparing to unleash a free skate program loaded with a technical arsenal that fundamentally defies all laws of physics. He is pushing back the final frontiers of human capability, transforming the sport into something supernatural and divine. We are witnessing a program layout that is no longer mere skating, but a cinematic voyage through the thin mountain air. His technical sheet features the quad flip and the legendary quad axel, a jump that a century of history once deemed impossible. Furthermore, he adds the quad lutz and quad loop, creating a sequence of rotations that boggle the most analytical minds. The young man has prepared punishing combinations such as a quad lutz triple flip and quad toe triple toe with absolute precision. The crown jewel of his ambition is the magical quad Salchow triple axel sequence, performed with the smoothness of a natural flow. With total mastery over every quad jump in existence, analysts have essentially engraved his name on the gold medal in advance. They back their bold predictions with a technical ceiling that sits in the stratosphere higher than any human has ever reached. However, history reminds us that the Olympic arena has never been a calm lake or a place for the faint of heart. It is a harsh entity where monumental psychological pressure can turn even the greatest geniuses into strangers to themselves. The legendary Evgeny Plushenko has issued heavy-hitting warnings about the cracks forming in Ilya's seemingly invincible mental armor. Plushenko observed that Malinin seemed to lose his nerve during the team event, showing rare signs of mental vulnerability. Meanwhile, Japan's Yuma Kagiyama stole the spotlight with a weightless masterpiece, feeling more like poetry than sport. Kagiyama floated across the ice with transitions so seamless they resembled a work of fine art coming to vivid life. Plushenko warned that the crushing pressure of the Olympic rings has finally reached Ilya Malinin's young and ambitious shoulders. He noted that the world has not yet seen even 70% of what the American is capable of when fully focused. A toxic doubt began to seep into the arena, with many whispering that the quad axel under such pressure was a mere fantasy. Tension escalated to a breaking point when a bizarre administrative failure struck the very heart of the coaching team. Supercoach Rafael Arutyunyan, the strategic brain behind Malinin's ascent, was suddenly barred from appearing at the boards. A credentialing fiasco involving the official U.S. roster led to the legendary coach being denied his accreditation. Offered a spectator ticket to watch like a normal fan, Arutyunyan refused out of professional pride and deep dignity. He was forced to watch his pupil from afar, unable to offer a final technical correction or a single reassuring word. Amidst this storm of logistical chaos and surrounding loneliness, Ilya Malinin faced a mission that seemed increasingly impossible. He had to find a way not to be incinerated by the white heat of expectation and the burnout threatening his every effort. But for Ilya, the pursuit of greatness has never been a lonely journey on a frozen sheet of ice, indifferent to the world. Behind the dry technical scores and the dizzying rotations is a massive family legacy flowing through his very veins. He does not skate for personal glory alone. He skates with feet carrying the heavy dreams of generations of effort. Born into a family of elite professional athletes where both parents were Olympians, the rink was truly his cradle. It was his sanctuary and his second home, the sacred place where he learned to glide before he could even walk. The Malinin tradition is not found in flowery praise, but in the pitch-black, freezing mornings of Virginia. When fog still blankets the sleeping roads, the family would silently head toward the rink in total discipline. It exists in the rough, cracked hands of his father, Roman, who sharpened blades under a dim light in the garage. Every meticulous stroke ensured his son had the perfect grip to hold an edge against the immense pressure of a quad. It exists in the sharp, experienced eyes of his mother, Tatiana, a legendary champion who once stood at the pinnacle. She taught him that in this family, they never count the times you fall, they only count the times you stand back up. They count the times you adjust your collar and hold your head high toward the rafters with absolute confidence. Late-night video analysis with his father and encouraging drawings from his sister Ellie were his true mental foundation. These small tokens of love became the sturdiest launchpad, helping him transcend the shadows of doubt looming in Milan. Meanwhile, in other corners of the Olympic Village, his rivals were also struggling with their own mounting tragedies. Russia's Petr Gumenik faced a nightmare when copyright strikes forced him to scrap his music at the very last second. He had to replace his entire program with Onegin just days before the event, a move of absolute desperation and risk. Gumenik also endured a 7 a.m. doping summons, leaving him no time to eat or warm up properly before the practice ice. That surrounding chaos stood in stark contrast to the internal stillness Ilya fought to maintain amidst the expectations. He understood he carried the hopes of a nation, but in truth, he was skating for those who walked with him in the dark. From the toddler who couldn't balance to the man hailed as the god of jumps, this journey belonged to them all. The moment of destiny arrived in the team finale, a climax of steel nerves and high-speed blades on the ice. As the final notes faded and the USA was crowned with gold, the Milan arena exploded in a roar of pure ecstasy. Ilya Malinin could no longer contain the powerful emotions suppressed throughout a long journey of hardship and tears. Stepping down with the gold around his neck, he ignored the flashbulbs in the pursuit of the global media. He did not seek the cheers of thousands. Instead, he lunged toward the stands where his parents waited in silence. In a tight, desperate embrace amidst the thunderous roar, the quad god finally let down all his mental defenses. The man who performed alien-level jumps wept like a small child on the warm, slender shoulder of his mother. Those hot tears were the release of thousands of hours of training in the biting cold of long Virginia winters. They represented every painful fall and every silent sacrifice his parents made to nurture this incredible talent. Ilya took off the gold medal and placed it into the trembling, proud hands of his father and mother. "I did it, Mom and Dad. I couldn't have done it without you," he choked out amidst the cheering crowd. In that crystalline moment, Ilya Malinin was no longer a legend with unprecedented world records. He was a grateful son, the pride of an Olympic bloodline passed down through generations of arduous effort. He wanted the world to know this medal was forged from the sleepless nights and the unconditional love of his family. Behind a god-conquering impossible heights, there is always the indomitable spirit of a simple yet great family love. At Milan 2026, Ilya proved that while records may fade, a parent's love is the light that reaches the stars.